No, Ken Daniels, one of the best in the business, but if I have to hear that effing phrase one more time, I'm going to lose it.
We'll take that.
Yeah, you can replace caller DJ's "Word Up Doe" with "We'll take that." Yeah, we'll take that, City. Hey, we're not good enough to do any of our own work, so hey, someone help me, I'm poor. We'll take that. We'll take that.
Those are the people who said I'm not moving the bar.
We'll take that.
I'm not moving the bar. I said at the beginning, not me, but at the beginning of the year, let's play some meaningful hockey games. Let's be in the run for the playoffs.
We'll take that.
All of that happened, but you needed to move the bar.
Hey,
Those people did not
win
move
a game
the bar.
whole month of March. We'll take that. Here's the deal.
But with 3 seconds left, the joy and the jubilation that you felt, Mike.
No.
It's unbridled.
Well, unfortunately, no, because I had the Flyer game going on the iPad. So it was kind of short-lived.
I don't know.
And here's the other the problem this is why we did the show the way I did it yesterday, is when you leave your fate in other people's hands, you often get what you deserve, not what you want. That's been my problem with this entire drinking of the bathwater for this team, but by Bally, certainly, but by the bots. You lost the control of your destiny because you proceeded to go in March. Here, hold on, power stats for you. Great job on the sheet, gentlemen. 3-9-2 in March, including getting your asses kicked by Arizona twice. You ended the last quarter of your season 8-15. That's not a playoff push. That's falling balls first into a wood chipper. So, no.
And even though you finished strong in the final 4 games, it didn't kind of take away from everything else.
Hey, you had a chance to beat Washington head up, did you? No. You had a chance to beat Pittsburgh head up, did you? No. So I refuse to allow this whitewashing of how this went down. This was a collapse. If you want a positive out of all of this, I'll give you the one positive. For me, I walk away having zero doubts about the value and the role and the maturity and the care factor of the captain, Dylan Larkin. Dylan Larkin was about to cry in that postgame. Dylan Larkin, absolutely heartbeat of this team. He is a leader, grown before your eyes, and that's exactly how I want one of the faces of my franchise to step to the microphone after having his guts ripped out and to handle it. Now, if you want a positive, fine. You want to tell me, look, Lucas Raymond has set the stage for a full-blown breakout next year. See, I'll deal in those things. But, Rico, this is where you and I agree. The mission was to make the playoffs. You did not. You know what I'm not going to tolerate? You crying about Gary Bettman's rules.
I was about to say, yeah, the rules and, well, because if it was the other way around and the Wings made it and the Capitals didn't.
Oh, I know what it would be. Oh, the rules work in our favor? That's all this town is right now. Oh, hey, look, Texas Rangers had a ball bounce off their sack, clear the bases. Oh, we'll take that. How about you just go score the runs on your own in the first 7 innings?
Yeah. When you had a chance to beat the Capitals, you didn't.
So I would like to have a different conversation. Raw emotion, day after the season's over. You can pull positives. You can, but here's the reality. Year 5 of the rebuild. The reality, because I live in a world where results matter. You were 26th in goals against. You were morbid. You don't have a defensive core beyond proven Mo Seider. We think Evanson's going to be very, very good. But you have nothing beyond it. And you have no goaltending whatsoever. And don't give me Kosa or Augustine. They won't be here for 2 years. And please, spare me banking on a goalie prospect. It is brutally difficult to find a goalie. So I'm making a point. Mission number 1 as we enter the offseason, as much fun as a splashy goal scorer would be, it's probably tightening up either the blue line, and it's not about, if you think you're just going to call up kids, you're sadly mistaken. or you got to find a goalie. Because, look, I'm bummed out in the sense that February 29th we sat here and it was like, this team is going to the playoffs and they could be dangerous. And look at what the last week was. Shaking a cup on a corner for spare change, begging for help. A bunch of miracle heroics. Hey, by the way, nice start to the game last night. Montreal was more physical than you. Their forecheck terrorized you. And you got outplayed by a bad hockey team with kids on it, including a couple guys making their first NHL start. So we got what we deserved. This team laid the seeds for that heartbreak over the last 5 weeks.
Yeah. With a couple of guys making their first NHL start, you should have dominated them, period. I mean, when you think about that statement.
Well, it kills me too.
They're looking towards the future. Like, okay, if we lose, we lose. But guys, that's literally one of those, go out there and have fun.
Well, and Montreal tried to hand you the game with two of the flukiest, weirdest goals you'll ever see. There's bad angle shots and then no angle shots. And then there's whatever Primo's kid did in net where he's like, hey, I got a fart. And he looks to the right and the left and the puck goes. I'm going, wait, play didn't stop. What are you doing? And you still, like, it's one of these things where I don't want breaks. I don't want luck. I want quality. I want dominance. And as I said yesterday on the show, I view the Red Wings like the Yankees of hockey. I view you as one of the great American franchises in your sport. Truly. So I don't do that. Go earn it. Go take it by force. So as this season ends, it's hard to say it, but no, it is a failure. It's a failure because you never gained a standard. You had hot, ice cold, kind of hot. Like, there has to be a standard of effort every night that when you throw that jersey on, or as hockey people like to say, that sweater with that logo, or as hockey people sometimes say, that crest, there has to be a standard. And way too many nights in the last 5 weeks, Rico, they no-showed. Low energy, low effort. We'll play one good period. I'm bummed because it never should have ended this way. Mm-hmm. They should have made the playoffs, and they didn't. And it's a failure in my world. And I'm sorry, but like, come up a point short on the bar exam. You failed. Right. There is no, well, my score on the bar has gotten better each time I've taken it. You failed it. Hey, I'm taking the Series 7. You failed. Well, my score's better than you failed. Series 65, failure. It's pass or fail. Mm-hmm. You didn't almost land the parallel park. You failed. Mm-hmm. So I would like to know where people are at. Now, if you believe the season's a success, you want to go Team Bally, you want to say, well, Yzerman improved the point total again, you can do that. We have different definitions of success. And that's fine. But I'm never going to see your side of it, and you won't see mine. Because now it sets up a year 6 for Yzerman where it's not good enough to just make the playoffs. I think you need to be one of the top 3. You need to make an ascension. How many years is it going to be where the bare minimum isn't enough? Mm-hmm. Half the teams make the damn playoffs. Now, I don't need you to go win the President's Trophy, but yes, I need you to be flirting with a real playoff spot. And frankly, at a minimum, you got to take a series to the limit in the first round, if not win one. No. Otherwise, what are we doing?
No, and I can see what you were talking about with the goaltending, because back in December, I think it was, unless they scored 4 goals or more, they weren't winning games.
They didn't win a game. You nailed this. This was a show way back. And I think they were like 1-15-1 in games they didn't score more than 3 goals.
Yeah.
And I know it was, you're right, it was like holiday-ish. And that's the stuff that comes back to bite you.
So where do you feel, where are you sitting with the fact of, for those who said, hey, this is the 2022 Lions, where you went all the way, you needed help, but you didn't get help because, remember, the Rams did not beat the Seahawks that game.
Yeah.
You played the Packers. We're going to roll this into next year. Because I heard a lot of people, and I saw a lot of people saying.
No, I buy it. How about this? I can feel bad now, but feel good about next year in that I do think You've put a floor into this thing where we know they're not going to be bad. Might be good. I don't know that they'll be great. I'm not as convinced as other people. Like, I don't believe this is the Baltimore Orioles on ice. They don't have nearly the prospect cachet that some people want to make it out to be. Now, they have a couple more bullets to fire. Casper, Danielson, this Palika kid, that's fine. But when you begin banking on, well, I got 3 more guys to call up and all of them are going to hit. Doesn't work that way. So this is going to be a big summer for Yzerman. Raymond's got to get paid. Sider's got to get paid. What do you do with Gostisbehere? What do you do on acquisition? What do we do with Kane? You can't go out handing a 3-4 year deal to him. The rest of the league saw that the hip is good. The rest of the league saw how good he was in his 50 games. And there are a lot of stupid people that run teams. If another team comes in and goes crazy with Kane, what do you do? There's a lot to discuss here.
But you're okay with that. Because like I said, a lot of people were like, and David, I saw you were saying no.
Yeah, David, please jump in.
Yeah,
Kenny, jump in.
Yeah, let me respond to that because I'm definitely saying no to that because
no to what? We said a lot.
No to his question, Rico's question about them being the Detroit Lions of 2022. The end of that 2022 season for the Detroit Lions, they were hot. They were the hottest team in the NFL. The Red Wings were in this spot because they weren't hot. They limped into this spot. They had a bad month. If you want to say 6 weeks, they had a bad 6 weeks. That's why I can't say the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions propelled themselves into that position. The Wings kind of went the wrong way.
But what about the comeback wins in the last couple games? No.
See, that stuff annoys me more than anything because I always go to the root cause of why did you need these comebacks? Like, how about play well? I mean, I'm sorry, and I understand people. Yes, I am jaded. I am an East Coaster. I understand. I don't have the apple pie sensibilities of Midwesterners. I can only be me. I want what you all want. I shouldn't have to explain this. I don't hate your teams. Your teams losing aren't good for my business. I want the parade just like you do. I want to go down to the playoff games. I want to enjoy myself. I want to go out with the crew here. But, like, I don't tolerate failure very well. That's never changed. It's just how I am as a fan. It's year 5. There has to be standards. Well, we were on the doorstep. Pass or fail. There's no half pregnant. No half wet. Oh, well, Tortorella screwed us. No, he didn't. They needed to win in regulation, and he doesn't owe you anything.
Right.
When you leave your fate in other people's hands, you're not going to like the outcome.
I was wondering why they pulled the goalie so quickly, early in the game, but can he explain that to me? That, they had to win that game. I thought it was a little early.
It had to be regulation.
Right, but I thought maybe you wait until about 2 minutes to go, and then you just go full on and try to get that final goal to win the game because it was 1-1. If it was 1-0, I would understand pulling the goalie earlier.
But here's the one thing, right? All these people want to bag on the Caps, and the Caps deserve it to a point. They're one of the metrically worst teams to make the playoffs since 1991, where, shout out Brass Bonanza, America's Whalers made it. Shout out Pat Verbeek. The point is, they made the playoffs primarily because of Lindgren. Because of their goalie. Wasn't Lindgren first or second in the league in shutouts? Wasn't Lindgren sporting like a 2.77 goals against? Like, yes, they had a terrible differential. The point is, he, including against you, stood on his head. In many ways, the Capitals, they don't have a lot of the things you have, but they have the one thing you don't have. They got a goalie.
That's a good point.
So it just, we're here. And this is why we flipped out during the 7-game losing streak, or when they were doing this dance and Kenny goes, I can't take anymore. It's not negativity. It's realism. It's understanding you're not handling your own business. And if I have to hear, I'm going to light a TV on fire. We'll take that as the ultimate loser mentality.
David, you should just put that on this board.
No, you know what we should do? We should sell T-shirts. Or when people drive to town for the draft, rip down that Detroit sign and just put up, we'll take that. established 1826 or whatever Detroit was. Like, it's an attitude that's so pervasive in this town. Hey, we're not good enough for us to earn it. Let's just pray it happens. And in year 5 of the Iser plan, no. I expect better. So I'd love to hear from the hockey elite. Kenny, put out the Matterhorn.
Yeah.
No, literally, Kenny, Matterhorn. No, not a sound effect. Kenny, into the microphone. Give the hockey elite the mating call, and let's get this show rolling on a Wednesday.
I'm not going to moan into a microphone for you, Mike. It's
yes,
just not going to
Kenny.
It simply will not happen.
Your people need you. Hockey elite, assemble. Kenny, hit
Hockey elite, assemble!
248-539-9797. We get to your phone calls next.